Hi, I'm Scott Hartley, President and CEO of Calibre Computer Solutions. I'm here today with Christy of German American Insurance. It's nice to have you here, Riley.
Nice to be here, Scott.
Just wanted to kind of get a little bit of information from you about BNI. I know that you're a relatively new member to our chapter, but kind of thinking back, who was the person that invited you, or how did you find out about the Profit Seekers chapter?
Well, this is my first experience with BNI. I'd heard of it, but I actually didn't know a lot about it. But a colleague of mine who works at another office down at an Evansville location asked me if I'd be interested, and I said, sure, absolutely. And that's when he told me about the Profit Seekers that was meeting relatively close to where my office was. And so he gave me some contacts to some other members in the group. And several people contacted me after I showed interest and invited me to come to one of the visitor meetings that you had. That was a visitor breakfast, and that's whenever I attended. And I was met with lots of kind words and greetings, and it was very easy to acclimate and introduce myself to people. Everyone there was very friendly, and it was a great experience. And that's how I really got into BNI.
So really just kind of, word of mouth, told you about our chapter, came to our visitor day. And you kind of touched on this a little bit, but on that visitor day, what was kind of your first impression of BNI?
A friendly welcome is probably my first impression. When I first walked into the building, there were 3 members just at the front talking, that all of them introduced themselves and asked, how I, came to hear about the meeting, and asked if I needed anything. Very, very accommodating, very nice people.
Okay. And then, obviously at the meeting, you had the opportunity to kind of find out more about what BNI is all about, how it can work for your business, and really the philosophy of BNI, which is givers gain and passing referrals to each other. At that meeting, what, was kind of the big thing that really said, I need to join this chapter, that this is going to do something for my business? What kind of stuck out to you?
I like the overall mission behind it, and that's that we're here to grow each other's businesses. And the best way to do that, no matter what industry you're in, it really is referrals and word of mouth and satisfied customers and colleagues. I love that when I got to the meeting, it was very, very structured. We have exact set agenda, exactly set times, exactly when it's going to start and when it's going to end.
Right.
And everyone there is there for the same driving purpose, and that's to increase their own book of business and success.
Right. And that's very important. A lot of meetings and everything that sure you've been a part of, they have the definite start time, but there's always that end time that, you never know if it's actually going to be over at that point in time. But BNI is definitely a very structured, organization.
Absolutely. We've rarely have ever even gotten off topic. We always stay on task. We're there at the right time. And like I said, I know exactly when I'm going to be out of the meeting. And we're there, and for the whole hour and 15 minutes that we're going, it's all sales-driven, referrals, helping build a book of business.
Right. Okay. Now, I know that you've only been in BNI, a short period of time. Have you had the opportunity to either pass a referral to somebody else in our chapter, or have you gotten a referral that you've been able to talk to somebody about?
Sure. Really, right when I started, I saw that, I guess for starters, since I was also new to BNI, I'm also new sort of this area. And so it was actually great just to get a lot of contacts with other business professionals,
right?
Between accountants and marketing people and real estate, and it was great. So I've passed several referrals and received several referrals, and some informal ones where I've simply got introductions to people through BNI.
Right. Okay.
That have really helped me just acclimate not only to the new position but to a new area.
Okay. And then, with BNI, it makes a big difference in your life and your business. And I know that you're going to be going through what they call the Member Success Program tomorrow, which is basically a crash course on, BNI to help you really shorten that learning curve about what BNI is all about and how to really make it work for you. But just having attended the meetings over the past couple months, what can you say is 1 or 2 ways that BNI has either impacted your life personally or your business?
Let's see. Like I said, I touched on this earlier. Coming down here, other than me trying to go out and introduce myself to some businesses and talk to people, it makes a whole world of success when you're introduced to someone versus you're just introducing yourself.
Right.
And that's what BNI has really helped me in my personal life and my business. Just open doors or say, hey, I'd like you to meet so-and-so. And it's such an easier introduction, and people are so much more comfortable around you whenever you go through another channel when you say, hey, I'd like you to meet this person. So
yeah, those warm introductions, make a big world of difference, rather than just making a cold call or just stopping in and saying, hey, I want to talk to you. It doesn't go so well, a lot of times with that. So Obviously, we've got a lot of business professionals that haven't heard of BNI. Some of them maybe have heard of it, and they're like, I don't know if I want to check out the Profit Seekers, chapter meeting. What would you say to somebody that's considering, visiting our chapter or potentially even joining? What would you say, that they really need to think about?
Well, I'd probably put it this way. Think about what opportunities you would miss if you didn't. It's an easy. Our meetings are always open to visitors. You're welcome to come anytime. Come see what it's about. Come see what we can help you do. If it doesn't hurt to think, or it doesn't hurt to come try and see. But think about what you would lose just by the opportunity of just introducing yourself to this circle of people that might help you out someday.
Right. Okay. And I know that you and I talked about this past Friday. I know another member of your organization that actually just joined, I believe, a week ago on Monday. And so I was kind of telling him about, BNI, and he was like, oh, I need that, because I need to be introduced to people and stuff like that. I didn't have the heart to tell him at the time. It's like, well, you can come visit our chapter, but since Riley's already in there, sorry, you can't join, because BNI does have the rule that for each chapter there's only one person per profession, and so you represent the business insurance seat there in our chapter, and so obviously he can't join even though he's with the same company.
Sure.
Does that did that play a part in your decision to help join BNI?
Absolutely, because I came in right at the right time when you were looking for a business insurance seat. And so I knew that, especially if I didn't join, that seat was going to get filled very quickly.
Right.
And then I would lose the opportunity, again, the opportunity cost of just not taking the initiative or at least coming to the meeting and seeing what it's about. I'm very, very fortunate I came when I did so that I could fill that seat.
Right. Okay. Well, Riley, thanks so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. If you would like to find out more about the BNI Profit Seekers chapter and its members, please visit us at the website that's listed on your screen.